Hey guys, it's Francis. Today is Tuesday, January the 21st, 2025. This is my trade review. Not that great of a trading day. I've been having a 3-day slump. In any case, let's just review the market really quick. We'll start off with the SPY. I definitely had a bullish bias today. Gap above this bar, above this vertical down there, and the trend seems to continue. Same thing on the Q. So I definitely had a bullish bias. What I didn't anticipate was how weak it was in the beginning. So Qs here on the 5 minutes, you can see just kind of sold off, hung around this trend line, and then before it kicked off. SPY, not as much, but more or less the same. Like I didn't really do jack squat until I had to work. So beginning of the day was relatively boring. The first trade I took was AMD. This was kind of aggressive. It was on a 5 minute. It had a relative strength to the market. You can compare here. This is where AMD opened, and then you can see market selling off, and this pushed up. So what I took was a turnaround on volume. We got a resting. I should have waited for the third bar. This was a turnaround 3-bar play, but I got in right at this bar as it moved above 123.40. I was hoping to catch it on the way up, and lo and behold, the next bar immediately got killed on this trade. I didn't take a full R loss. I just saw the volume. I'm like, this is not it. So I got out right here for about 0.7 R loss. My second trade was QCOM. I got to get back to basics. That's the overall lesson for today. I did a relative strength play right here. This was the trend line. You got the rising 20. This was just not a good trade in general. I saw this line. I saw this top bottoming tail. It held the VWAP. This kind of pushed up, pulled back, and it started pushing up. I actually went in on the 1 minute right here. So as it pushed back up, clearing 166.50, I got in, expecting it to continue to push forward. At that time, relative to the market, I should have just waited, right? The market was coming down. I don't know if it was going to hold this trend line. I was expecting this bounce. That's kind of where I got in. I was expecting to hold this trend line and move up. Again, it didn't. I got killed immediately on the second bar. This one took some slippage as well, so that was fun. AVGO. I had this kind of triangle pendant going on. It kept pushing up, kept holding up. Again, somewhat stronger to the market. I like that it closed above VWAP. I even waited for this line to come in and hold before I went in. As you can see on the 1 minute, I waited for this to form, and then I went in. My entry was 240. So as it moved back up, I got filled, and then again, immediately the next bar just got killed here. I did not like the price action on this candlestick on the 2 minute, and immediately got out. So again, about a half R loss. This was not the cleanest. I think if it was down up would have been better. It was kind of chopping. On the daily, what it was a continuation, right? If I wanted to be above this area, which it was, hold this bottom trend line and pushed up. But throughout the day, it didn't really do anything until later on in the day. Then I had Google. This one was, again, a relatively poor trade, I would say. Saw a double bottom retest, moved back up, closed near the VWAP. I saw this started pushing up, so I decided to take a shot on it. And it was doing not bad in the beginning. Again, we compare this with the market. I got in right here. I'm expecting the bounce, right? All of this is because I'm expecting this bounce up and then carry forward, but it started chopping and it just lost strength relative to the market. This one, I again decided not to take a full R loss. It just didn't look good. This was about 3/4 of an R loss. And then the last loser was NVDA. Again, based on a relative strength play, I saw it bounce up. I like this sold off. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. I got in right here, expecting it to continue to push up. The 9 moving average, 20 EMA, and then another 20. So 9 EMA, 21 EMA, and then 20 EMA. comparing this with the market, right here again, the market's holding. I'm expecting a bounce up. Just never happened. Immediately got sold off. This one I actually made a mistake. My stop loss was here, but for whatever reason I set it at 70, so it took me out. I decided to go in again right immediately, but it just never did anything. I decided to get out for a small profit. Let's call it break even. If I held it, I would have got tagged out because I think I had it at 50 cents, and then eventually it moved up. My only technical winner was Oxy. I was stalking this. It sold off to an area of support right here around 50, 60. It continued. I was watching it on the 5-minute. It engulfed this bar and then moved up above the 20 MA, so I decided to get in a little bit early. So this was a risky play on my part, around 50-50 by low of day. As it moved up, I was actually gonna sell it at the 90 MA around 50.87, but decided to take a little bit more. Then I saw this doji. My 2R would have been 51.20. It was not able to do that, so I sold it at 51. That gave me a 1.73R. All in all today, I'm down minus 2.34R. Again, haven't been the greatest 3 trading days. I've just been taking a little bit too many aggressive trades. I gotta go back to basics to identify the pattern, understanding where the bar formed, how did it form, and where did it come from. Being able to identify a pattern before entering a trade until I get a little bit better at options, which I did note. There was one trade I had considered, which was this one right here. As this, again, off relative strength, meta bounced, and then I'm expecting it to bounce back. I would have got killed immediately on this one as well, so that option wouldn't have worked that well. The other side stuff was I was thinking about the Qs as it came back up here. If I had options, I would have played it. Same with on the SPYs. Sold off, but there's no indication of volume, so I don't really realistically know whether I would have gotten in today or not. Just been very sloppy in the first 45 minutes to an hour of the trading day. I have maximum an hour and a half in a given day, so I just got to be a little bit tighter with my trade. Take it slow. I can't have days like this again. I managed my loss relatively well, I would say, to mitigate against like taking a full loss. Nonetheless, I probably shouldn't have been in those trades to begin with. So anyways, today minus 2.34R, not so great, but we'll survive and be better tomorrow. Again, this is Francis. This is my review for Tuesday, January 21st, 2025.